honor the deal. See, in this game, that's a simple thing that everyone thinks they know, and that's what everybody abides by, and everybody's cool, and that's why business can be done, because everybody tries to honor the deal. But truth be told, it's only a couple motherfuckers, you listening to one, you know what I'm saying, who really try to stick to the code of what I like to call in and out. You know what I mean? Money in, product out. You understand what I mean? Cash in my hand, product out. You know what I mean? Whatever I make a deal, this is what I need to get done. I need you to do the correct output for what I told you to get done. I stick to those things because it's no emotion, and I don't like people who really don't understand business and think that, they can change the terms. When I was in New York, I was talking to a cat who was well off, right? And I brought up that subject. I said, I try to, be what I say I'm gonna be. I try to be there on time. I try to do what, what people pay for. And he was like, Freeman, that's good that you had that kind of discipline. But, let me tell you something. He said, that's good. You'll build a good reputation. He said, but, it's always good to honor your deals. He says, when you get higher up in this game, there's going to be people who realize that if you sue them, it still will be less than the loss they have to pay. So he said that's the only time that he thought of where he thought sometimes you don't have to honor the deal if you're going to lose more than just by letting them sue you or something. So I understood that. But in all other parts of life, you need to learn how to honor your deal. And the issue only comes to motherfuckers who are freshmen to this chip game, who really think, because they've been reading some fuck-ass books, that this is a fungible, it's not a hard rule, it doesn't, I ain't gonna take no losses. See, the thing is, when you don't honor your deal, the main thing is for the first time in your dumbass life, you wake up and you say, I'm not making as much money as I thought. I should have told him $50 more than what I charged him. So I'm gonna come back and ask him for $50. But if you run into your boy Freeman, I'm just gonna say, man, we had a deal on the table before. Why the hell you changed it to 50? Well, my hamburger meat cost me 50 cents more, and what that gotta do with me? What that gotta do with me? You know what I'm saying? I gotta work on another contract. I might not be able to get over. What that gotta do with me? You understand what I'm saying? We made a deal, homie, before the hamburger meat, before all the other shit went down, we had a deal. So it pisses me off when I meet motherfuckers like that. In fact, it pisses me off so much. If any motherfucker even brings that shit up, I get rid of them. You know what, homie? I don't even know. You know what? Let's just scrap the whole goddamn thing together. Oh no, man, I'll take that. No, let's just scrap the whole thing together, man, because that shit just rubs me the wrong way, man. We had a deal. I don't know why we negotiating no more. I go find another cat that's wanted to, oh man, that just fucked up. I just wanted to see, I don't even know why you want to see, motherfucker, if you can get $50 out of my pocket when I already told you I'm going to put the dub on it, what the fuck we need to talk about? So I get rid of motherfuckers, straight up. But I know where it comes from, homie. See, when you're freshman to this game, homie, you coming in and you're trying to set up a business, and sometimes you underestimate the cost of things. And since you're not a seasoned businessman yet, you sit back and say, I'm going to go back and try to get it. Instead of being a businessman, say, sometimes we lose, man. Let me next people up, man. Hurry up and change my prices. See, and the second place it comes from is when you deal with motherfuckers who ain't seasoned too, but they come along and say, you know what, man? I did another job, and I just charged this lady $500 to do the carpet. Why would I let Freeman get away with $2? And so this dumb motherfucker come over there and install a carpet and say, Freeman, you getting a good deal because I charged the other lady $5. I say, I appreciate it, homie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I was wondering if you might want to, how about we go up $50? Hey, man, I don't need the fucking carpet, man. Get the fuck out of my house, homie. You know what I mean? Because why? I can get better money anyway, though. You lost money, dumbass. You lost the money from me, and all you got now is the money from her. And she's dumb. So she don't know the price of shit on the street, homie. She don't know that you just some dude installing carpet. You ain't no goddamn lawyer. See, when a dumb motherfucker don't understand the chip game, first thing he start doing is trying to think that he deserves certain money by the hour. You know what I mean? Like his time is so important. Like I'm talking to Obama and shit. Obama's time is important. That's the only cat I know. Everybody else needs to fall the fuck back. That's the only motherfucker I know that really got a damn... Hey man, I can only speak to you for 5 minutes and shit. I'm with you. That's all you got. You know what I mean? You respect the time, but everybody else, come on, man. Some motherfucker that I got doing a small project for me, come on, man. So the dumb motherfucker, the first thing the dumb motherfucker does, and let me tell you how y'all have these bitch ass emotions, man, because this shit is irking to me. The first thing you do, let's say you're doing a website for me, and we agree to $200, and then you find out you could have charged me $5, and the shit you want, well, I'm only going to give him a $200 website. I know you have plenty of friends who say that shit. Well, I'm just going to give him the bare minimum. I'm not going to give him all the bells and the whistles, right? And then to me, you come back and I say, man, fuck it, man, I don't even want it. See, once you open your bitch ass mouth about the 50, homie, man, fuck you, homie, because I know you about to give me a $200 website. I know it, young partner. You understand what I'm saying? I know it. So I try my best not to what's that called? To deal with motherfuckers who gonna have any kind of bitch ass emotions about them coming up short on their own fucking calculations. McDonald's lose money, Nike lose money, fucking Def Jam loses money. Everybody loses money except your little fuck ass, man, because you don't understand these ships. So you want to change the deal. You don't want to honor the deal. You understand what I'm saying? And this is a real problem, young homie. I'm trying to save you. I know it's very irritating. I'm coming at you hard. You know what I mean today? But it's something that you gotta stop. Either figure out your fucking money, young partner, or just shut the fuck up when you lose it. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, it's just the way the shit is, man. Sometimes I remember I bought a car, right? And I bought a car. No, in fact, I leased a car. And I was coming back. You know, when the lease comes to an end, dude comes to, he said, hey, Freeman, do you want to buy a car? And I said, no, let me check out the newer years. Let me see, what the upgrades look like. So he was like, they made a big mistake. When they let this car go this year, they had it underpriced by like 20 G's. I said, oh, that's interesting. He said, but now they corrected it. And I said, so realistically, I'm getting the same car for 20 G's more to help the motherfuckers who made the correction. He just stopped because he knew, he was talking, he wasn't thinking. And I said, man, I don't want that motherfucking car. I ain't gonna pay 20 G's for the same shit I had now. That why would I do that? And I switched it up and went to it, got another car. But the thing is, they made a mistake. The big company made a mistake. Now they're trying to correct the mistake and pass it on. You'll hear it on TV. We gotta pass the losses on to the consumers. If you run a business, young partner, everybody got losses. Miscalculations, surprises, flooding, fires, penalties, all kind of shit come up when you run the business. So we all accept it. It's just that some people say, well, we gotta pass it on to the so-and-so, we gotta pass it on to the customer. Whenever you hear somebody say that, because that's the more higher way of saying the same, I don't want to honor my first deal bullshit. You gotta pass it on to the customer. When you watch, stock market, pass it on to the customer. So I want you to know, man, it's never a good time. Just sell the cars and don't tell nobody about your losses and then come out with the 20 G's on a new car. And then when Freeman comes to look at whether he want to purchase the car, he'll say, hey, fuck that, man, it's 20 G's. But let Freeman ass go before I say it loud enough that every other person hear that shit. See, in this game, young partner, you got to honor your deal. You got to be a man about this shit, or a woman. But you got to be the kind of person that sometimes you just have to take a loss. And since most of us are so young in the game right now, homie, see, you starting to think you're a lawyer. They pay a lawyer for thinking, homie. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody's paying your ass for thinking. They're paying your ass for doing. See, let me hope you understood what I'm just saying. See, they pay a lot of motherfuckers for thinking by the hour. I get paid for thinking about how I'm going to help do a lot of shit for these people. I'm not paid for doing shit. That's the difference. Is if I was a dude in the warehouse loading up boxes, then my physical hands are fucking touching the boxes. I'm in the same building with the motherfucker from the warehouse, but my brain has moved that shit from wherever to the damn warehouse, now to another place, and got it cleared and done everything else I need to do to it. They pay me for my thoughts, for my ability to organize and think. And when a motherfucker don't understand that he ain't at that level yet, that people ain't paying you for what you fucking do with your hand, you start thinking that I'm just like a goddamn lawyer. Right? See, See, since we're all young in this game, the majority of the time, young partner, you doing things with your hands. If you started a lawn cutting service, you doing shit with your hands. If you grinding stumps, you doing shit with your hands. If you babysit, you doing shit with your hands. See, anything that involves physical labor, you're doing shit with your hands. And this whole idea of being paid like we're thinking, like you can adjust the deal because all of a sudden you gave a motherfucker, you told Nike how to sell better shoes. You didn't. But you like to believe you are because you've been reading them fuck ass books that tell you this shit. So a young cat comes up to me and we have a deal on the table. And the dude says, you know what, I charge this other lady $500, Freeman, for the carpet. And you know, I only charge you $200. Thanks, man, I appreciate it, homie. Nah, man, you know, I was gonna come over here so I can see if I can get, you know, $50 or $100 more, man, because you know the price is this. I said, but we got a price of $200. Yeah, man, but you know, then I just tell, hey, young homie, man, I don't even need the motherfucking carpet, homie. Oh, man, we cool? Nah, man, I don't even want that shit around. And the main reason why is because, let me line this shit up and give you another story. Let's say me and that same young brother is doing a website. And he find out he can charge me $5, but I only got it for $2. And then he comes along and says, you know, Freeman, same scenario, you know, I charge this other motherfucker $5, Freeman, for the same shit that I'm doing for you for $2. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, cool, I appreciate it, homie. Thanks for, you know, looking out, man. You know, chips are chips, I understand. Oh, man, but you know, I was thinking about getting $300, man. Nah, man, you know what, man, let's just scrap the whole goddamn website. You know what I mean? By now, I don't even want to deal with this shit. Because I know, and this is the key point, I know since this motherfucker is a bitch to the game and don't understand chips, he gonna go back to his computer and say, I'm just gonna get that motherfucker a $200 website. And don't tell me none of y'all wouldn't think the same shit right now. I'll just get that motherfucker $200. What he paying me? I'm only gonna pay for $200. Like we sitting here with a lawyer. Like I'm wasting $200 of your fucking time. I'm not. At the end of the day, you're creating a product. At the end of the day, the lawyer is creating a thought, a way to attack, separate your hand shit, your hand jobs from your mind games, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to demean your hustles, homie. I'm really not. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't give a fuck what you are. I made a deal over here for this shit, and you're not honoring the deal. Now, what am I supposed to do with a cat like this? What am I supposed to do with a motherfucker like this? You know what I mean? Try to educate him. Try to let his disgruntled employee ass come after me. His bitter ass come after. Try to charge me his punk ass. Try to find a way to give me bullshit so I can crank that bullshit out to you guys. So when you see a product made by Freeman, it is bullshit. Because, man, you know, that motherfucker, man, fuck him. He got mad. So when I hear the bitch in you rise up when it comes to the chips, homie, I get rid of your ass, man. Because I don't got no time for that. All because you open your punk ass mouth and said, oh, you know, the money changed, man. I don't want to honor that deal. I'm losing. How you losing? You sitting in front of a fucking computer, man, putting shit together. I do a podcast all the time, homie. I'm not losing nothing. People go, well, Freeman, you're losing your time. No, I'm not. God damn it. I think the Hall of Fame game comes on later on today. I'm just taking a break to do this shit. I don't value my time to the point, well, I should be very lucky that I take a time out of my day to enlighten all the people. Oh, RNG. Man, are you joking? I don't even take myself that motherfucking seriously, homie. But, you know, in this game, man, you gotta learn how to honor your deals. It ain't that old Boy Scout shit where everybody, you know, they love you and your reputation. It's about transactions being done. Let me tell you what happens every time you renegotiate. The transaction takes longer to get done. You know, the money resets. So now you gotta go to another motherfucker and say, oh man, you know, it's 300 instead of 200. You gotta hope that I go for it. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm a disgruntled buyer and shit. And then, you know what I'm saying? It just fucks up the whole thing. So let me give you lesson 101.111 in this game, homie. Honor your fucking deals. Even if you feel like you're gonna lose. Finish that shit faster than normal. Don't shorthand a motherfucker. Believe it or not, when I first started my company, I was a lot cheaper than everybody. It's like you will, homie, because we got to get in the game and get this change in our pocket. So I'm a lot cheaper than everybody. But I never gave them cheap service. I gave them the best service that they had, paying double than what I was charging. And then when it was time for my prices to go up, and I told them, I said, you know what, I was in a smaller situation, and I didn't have no employees and all this shit, homie. Yeah, that was the deal when it was just me rolling dolo, but you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate everything you gave to me. But the times have changed and I'm going to need a little bit more money. And I can understand if you don't want to pay me. I don't mean any disrespect by it. It's just the way, chips are. My business is growing. I need more money. So I never tried to put it on them like, you have to change. I put it on them like, hey, my life is changing. My money's getting better. Right? So I need more stuff. And the cat understood. So I want you to know that's the way you adjust things, but you don't do it midstream. You don't call them in the middle of the transaction and say, I'm going to need 50 more bucks because this shit is harder than I thought. Nobody paying you for that. Paying you to get the shit done. So you got to learn to honor your deals, young homie. And let me tell you, you got to start your homework earlier in your life. You need to find out what that number is. Whenever I start a business, I go around looking at what other motherfuckers are pricing it at. I figure out what they're going to get their products for. Maybe they get them for $4. I get mine for $5. Fuck, I can't be doing that. Well, shit, they probably trying to make 300%. I'm just going to make 200 just to get in the game. See, in my head, when I'm trying to get in the game or when I'm just trying to keep chips rolling in, I'm not going to adjust my numbers to it like I'm barely making anything, but I'm going to find that sweet spot where I can always get new customers and I can always stack chips. It might not be the best of chips. It might not be BMW chips. It might be Hyundai Elantra chips. But it don't matter. Chips is chips is chips when you keep stacking them up. Ask Pringles. The thing I'm trying to tell you to do is that I don't adjust my money because I got to be comfortable. And this is part business 101.11112. Be comfortable with the amount of profit you're going to make no matter what the fuck comes down the pipe. Because that way, you won't be calling up people in the middle of the shit saying we should have made more money. See, it's a certain thing in this game. It ain't no honor. It ain't no respect. It ain't no titles. It ain't no reputation. It's really about how pure to this chip game do you want to be. Because I want the transaction over. I am trying to give you a hot, fresh Big Mac with Thousand Island dressing and relish in that motherfucker. And I'm trying to get you to come out of your $3-4. ASAP. Right? And that's what I need you to do. So to me, that's the game. That's the game I'm in. Transactions. You know what I'm saying? What if you came to the laundromat and you had your quarters, right? And you had your quarters and you were ready to go. And then all of a sudden, not only was it 10 cents more, but now all your quarters, you have to go talk to somebody. All that shit would piss you the fuck off, even though it's just 10 cents. Because you had a deal in hand and a deal in mind, and then this motherfucker said, oh, no, the drying costs 10 cents more. In fact, gonna piss you off, even though it's 10 cents, that you start looking for another laundromat. Now, if you can do that on a small scale with fucking quarters and dimes, homie, why can't we do it with hundreds and G's? Why is it not offensive to me? Why would you offend a motherfucker because you don't understand your own game and how these chips are supposed to be done and how the negotiation's supposed to go down? You understand what I'm saying? And we all know you starting up, homie. I was starting up. We all know that you probably miscalculated. But you gotta suck it up. Damn, man, you know what? I'll help this dude do all this shit, and all I ever made out of was $50, man. It wasn't even worth my time. Like I told you a long time ago on our RNG, man, I see $1 on the ground. It's worth my time to pick it up. I ain't that rich yet, homie. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get that rich where I don't think putting some extra pad in my pockets ain't gonna be worth it, homie. You know what I'm saying? I ain't so caught up in trying to say I'm a professional. I got enough titles, fucking people know me and all that shit, and I still don't get caught up in that dumb shit of I'm a professional. You know, this is the bottom I'm willing to take, and I'm just not that dude. But in the whole scheme of things, young partner, when you in this business, honor your deal. Take the loss. Learn from it. When the dude come back and say, can I get the last deal we did? No, you know what? Situations change. You know, I got to go up $200 more because that's just the going rate. You know what I'm saying? I got a deal on some carpet when I gave it to you, but I don't have that same deal. Make up a lie like you hooked them up or something. Make up a lie because that way you won't lose your customer. But you know what I'm saying? But tell them it can't go down no more because I just, you know what I'm saying? The way the situation was set up back then just don't exist no more. But honor your deals. Remember the part I told you about your hands and your mind. Until you actually are doing something with your mind, you understand what I'm saying? You don't be in a rush to change the deal because there's plenty of motherfuckers doing hand jobs. Only a couple of motherfuckers are doing mind games. Next time, partner.